Everybody, welcome to a very special episode of the Gathering of Seers podcast. I am Brandon from Viking Tarot, your host, and I'm here with Kate from Pink Moon Siren Tarot. I'm very happy to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we met on Instagram, I guess, a couple months ago now, and we've just been kind of doing this tarot thing separately but together at the same time.
Right.
And so just tell everybody about you and your tarot practice lately.
I feel like I'm such a noob that I don't even have my elevator pitch together. I started my Instagram really just for me, just to kind of document like my continuing journey with exploring tarot for myself. And then like really quickly, I realized how much I enjoy doing it for other people, friends and family members. And so then that's when the idea sparked of like, maybe I turn this into something more than just, my fun little extra Instagram. And so, yeah, like I'm not quite there yet in terms of taking clients and all that, but I'm hoping within the next month or two to get it off the ground.
Yeah, it's a pretty natural progression. You get curious, you learn a little bit, and then you start posting photos and stories, and then people are like, "Oh, hey, by the way, can I get a reading?"
Right? Yeah, your DMs start. Hey, do you do readings? You do readings? It's like, oh, well, maybe. Like, sure, why not?
Yeah, my last episode with the Birth of Venus, she was she's in Canada, and yeah, me and her were talking about how tarot is just kind of like a lifelong journey. Like once you're in, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I do this now.
Yeah, it really once you get hooked, you're hooked. And it's powerful. I think that, once you can see what a powerful tool it can be for yourself and exploring, your emotional self and your subconscious and your intuitive self, it's really powerful to get that deep with yourself and you want to share it.
Yeah. Like helping people is great. And then at the same time, you're learning a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
And like tarot, there's a card for every situation. So when you're reading for yourself and reading for other people, you're like, oh yeah, I kind of see this in my life too. Is there like any specific cards that like come up for you a lot, or is there like a certain card that you just like love to see?
My ultimate favorite card is the moon.
Oh, cool.
And I love when it pops up in a reading for myself specifically. Lately, King of Swords has just been like at me all the time, so much that I'm like, I got it. Okay.
That's cool. The King of Swords is a great card.
Yeah. It's strong, and so because it's been, coming to me a lot lately, like as I'm going on this endeavor and, stepping into this journey with potentially making tarot business for myself, it's felt like, okay, all right. Like maybe there's some power behind me. Oh, this is my dog. Sorry.
Oh, cute.
Hey, hi. Rex.
Hello, doggy. Yeah. So, do you do like a spread style, or do you kind of just like draw 3 cards and see where it goes and then keep going with more?
Yeah. So I started with always just doing 3 cards. When I was mostly reading for myself, I would just do 3 cards and not like 3 cards in the sense of like, past, present, future, things like that. Like just 3 cards and, read them together as a whole. And, if I see a major, then clearly that's a theme and, just kind of let them build off each other. But I've started working with some other spreads, and I've actually taken to like piecing together different spreads that I have found from books that I like and from other people that I've seen, and then kind of making my own. And so I've got a couple now that I feel really, really good with, that I like doing for myself and eventually will do for other people.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like the more people I talk to, it's more of just like starting a conversation with yourself or with whoever you're doing a reading for.
Right.
It's like, okay, what's going on? Oh yeah, that's definitely right. And then
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, oh, I want more,
Yeah.
and then you just
And I don't like to be like hamstrung by a spread. So, if it's a 6-card spread or something like that, and, you kind of get going into it and thinking about it, then like, well, what's going to come up next? And just like keep adding, keep adding cards. Like, why not just, see where we're going with this, if you're feeling it and you're on a roll.
Yeah, one new thing that I found in like the last couple weeks is I've seen like people posting stories like, "Oh, find the fool," like shuffle, find the fool, and then like the card to the left and right is like something
Yeah.
like I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I've never thought
Yeah.
about that, so I've
Yeah.
been doing that for some people.
Yeah, I did one the other day that was similar, and it was like, think about shuffle while you're thinking about a problem that you want clarity on, and and split the deck. And I can't remember which was which, but it was the right hand is what you need to get through it, and the left hand is what's going to hinder you.
Hmm.
And it was cool. It was an interesting experiment to do with myself.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, just there's more than just one. There's no one way to do it. Like,
Right.
it's just you make of it what you want, and
Yeah.
you can kind of cater to yourself or anybody, their needs or situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people don't think about that. They're like, "Oh, tarot, that's when you like tell me my future, right?" It's like, well,
you're telling me I'm gonna die, like, right?
Yeah, I love it. Sometimes I get messages like, "Can you tell me when my fiance or my husband's coming back from overseas?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Well,
yeah. See, that's tough, and I don't want to. I don't want to cross into that like weird territory of like, I'm not going to tell you about your court case, or like, I don't want to get into your medical issues, like, because the person who is getting the reading, like, they hold the power over their future, right? Like, we all hold the power over our future, like, but what tarot gives you is the tool to examine where you are and where you could go, and and maybe the things that you need, and it's like it's all already in you.
I like
Right?
that. Yeah, very well.
Like,
Yeah, very well said. That's really cool.
it's all already there, and tarot is just like the spotlight.
Yeah, it's not a magic pill or anything,
Right.
but it does. For me, I like it. I like to think about it sometimes too. Is like there's so much going on in like daily life, and then like a good tarot reading, like a good purposeful tarot reading, can kind of like hone your attention to something that maybe you got lost in the shuffle, or it kind of just makes like a path for you
Right.
if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had the experience too where, I do a reading for myself and it doesn't seem to fit at all. And I can't figure out, like, oh, I don't know what this could be referring to. And then, and it's something that I haven't thought about in a while. And, later that day or later that week, I'll go, oh, now I know what that was talking about. Oh man,
That's really cool.
Be thankful that you like took a picture of the cards and go back and re-examine it, once you can figure out what it's really trying to tell you.
Yeah. So what decks have you been messing around with?
Oh my God, I have a real problem. I can't stop. I have so many. The first deck that I ever got for myself. So my husband, he has had a tarot deck, one or two in the house floating around. We've been together 15 years. So, for a really long time. And it was one of those things, like, I would pick it up and mess around with them and, look at the book and try to see what I could figure out. But it always really intimidated me because I felt like I had to like learn it like memorize every single thing. And that if I, it's an intimidating thing if you don't go into it, I don't know, with a more open mind, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of people
being
do
in
fall.
touch with your intuitive self versus like your book study self,
Yeah.
So like about 2 years ago, I got my own deck, and it's the Tattoo Tarot, the Ink and Intuition.
Oh yeah, I have that.
I love that deck.
It's upstairs in my bedroom. Yeah,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I like that one. I really like the Modern Witch Tarot. It's an interesting take on Rider Waite.
Oh, nice.
It's got like mostly women. I think it's all women actually. Yeah. It's all female depicted. Yeah. I have a lot though. I think I counted the other day. I might have 12 decks.
Oh, nice.
A lot. And some that I haven't really spent enough time with, that I haven't connected with. I have a mermaid tarot one that I really love that
that's cool.
a friend gifted to me. And so like, obviously like the pink moon siren thing, like mermaids are kind of my deal. So that one's meaningful to me.
That's cool. I know like having different decks is good because like cards have a meaning, but then like when you get different art styles and like different sizes and textures, and it all adds up, and it's just really cool to see.
Sometimes you see a side of it that you've never seen before, depending on how it's depicted by a certain artist, and then how it might look next to another card from that deck. And seeing like a continual picture of your spread. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Change a little bit, of what you really can see.
Yeah. Especially when you're like reading intuitively and you're really letting the cards like give you a feeling instead of like, oh, 2 of swords means this. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And like, I sometimes, still, I mean, I consider myself still fairly new. I sometimes still feel stiff, where I do look at things way too linearly, and by the book. And but the best reads are when I just go into it really, really open and really ready to accept the message instead of like ready to like read it, Yeah.
It's, you really have to be in the right mind space because like yesterday, I don't know, I was tripping yesterday. My mood was all off and I just didn't have a good day and it was busy. And then I was like, oh, I haven't posted yet today. Let me like do I like to do 2 cards for just like general energy and mood. And I like took the picture and I was like going to write the caption. I was like, fucking tribe is the vibe. And I was like, no, I can do better than that. So like, I put my phone away and I like gave myself like 10 minutes, like just around the house, tidied up a little bit. And then I came back and I was able to like actually give it justice and be like, okay, yeah, like this is what this actually means. And, but yeah, like, and then, I see people on Instagram like, oh, sorry, no readings today. Like I'm just going through a lot and I'm just not ready for it.
Totally makes sense. Yeah. There's something to like powering up, like getting in the right space, whether that's like you're doing a meditation beforehand or, you have like your own little ritual that you do to prepare. Like there's definitely something to that. It's valuable, to get yourself in the right headspace.
Yeah. One time I was on a business trip. So I was just like in a hotel in Florida and, I brought my deck with me and my friend, she wanted a reading and I was like really drunk. I was like, but she's like one of my really good friends. So like I know her really well. And she's like, yeah, my dating life's been kind of weird. Like I want another like relationship reading. I was like, I'm drunk as hell. Like this is going to be awesome. And like, ironically, it was like one of the best readings I've ever given her. I was really feeling it. Yeah.
You were really loose.
Yeah. Cause like, I was like alone most of the day. Like, I didn't have any like friends or family with me. So I was like, oh, this is perfect right now. Cause like, I just need that like connection and being able to like express that. And she was like tripping on one of her exes. And then like the first card I drew was like the devil. I was like, hey.
Girl.
So it's just funny what the cards can do. Like, the more you just involve yourself with it, the more experience you get, and the more friends you make and the more connections you make. Like, I love watching everyone's videos on Instagram, like seeing how they interpret things and how like what their style is. And some people post like really photogenic pictures. I'm like, damn, like that picture looks so freaking good.
I'm like the anti-influencer. Like I can't figure it out. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I got some cool blankets like in my family room that I like lay
Yeah.
out. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like these cards look cool with this blanket, and
Right.
or, like certain wall tapestries, or like that piece of art over there looks
Mhm.
really cool with two cards.
Yeah. You find the best lighting in your house.
Oh yeah,
You
like
move stuff over by
daylight.
the window.
Oh yeah, that daylight hits so much better than like if I take pictures at night, they always look so much crappier
Oh
because
yeah.
there's no natural light. And
Right.
yeah, it's funny. My wife will give me shit like I'm over by the kitchen
I have like
window,
an
like,
old phone
oh,
too. I really should get a new phone. Like,
oh yeah.
with Instagram, I'm doing everything on my phone, and
Mhm.
I've never felt more like, oh man, I should probably upgrade.
Yeah, I got that iPhone 10, so that's
Oh yeah, so
freaking legit. It's
yeah,
expensive, but I was like, oh, I'll make it worth it by selling tarot readings and stuff.
exactly.
So yeah. So like, what do you see happening in like the next 6 months to a year? Like, you're gonna keep going with it? Are you like trying to get pretty serious with it, or keeping it a hobby, or what's your plan?
So, I mean, ideally, yeah, my dog.
Digging holes.
Yeah, ideally, I definitely will continue with it regardless, right? Like it's a part of what I do now. Like
Hmm.
the reason that I really dove into it and have clung to it and have continued to just go deeper and deeper and really like claim it as my own was, I had my son like 3 years ago, and you become a parent and like things change a little bit, to
Hmm.
say the least.
Definitely.
And I think that motherhood specifically is like it takes a toll on your identity. And so I was in a space where I was like, I don't have anything that belongs to me. I don't have like, I have work and I have taken care of my son and I have my husband and I have my house, like, but nothing felt like it was mine. And I was just like constantly searching for this thing. And then like tarot and all my witchy shit that I love, like all of that just kind of like lit up neon and was like, lady, this is it. Like, get into it. And it's been, you know, my saving grace. It's my self-care. It's my alone time. It's my, that's church, like it's my thing. And so I'll do it regardless, whether or not it makes it into a money maker or anything like that. Like, I don't even care,
Hmm.
like that's not why I'm doing it. And I like the idea of being able to use my knowledge and my take on it to help other people.
Yes.
And to meet other people and to hear stories from people and just put it out there. I think it's the right time. I think we're all in need of guidance right now. And so, yeah, I want to see it through for sure, in terms of the business, but no matter what, tarot is part of my daily life
That's
forever.
that's amazing. Yeah, everyone needs that one thing, at least one thing, and I'm glad that you were able to kind of carve that out for yourself and have
Yeah.
that for yourself, and it's something that you can water every day and like have it grow. Like,
Yeah.
just imagine like 2 years from now, if you're doing tarot every day, like how much you'll know, how many people you've helped,
Right.
um, yeah, how many people you've met. The tarot community on Instagram is just so good. Like,
Oh yeah.
um, I've been on Instagram for almost 3 years now, and at first it was really slow. I started up from nothing, and then I got around like 100 followers, and I had like 3 or 4 people I talked to like every couple of days, keep
Mhm.
up with, and then it grew more and more and more, and now like my direct messages, I have like 20 different tarot readers that I'm like just constantly talking to, sharing with. They're like reacting to my stories, I'm reacting to their stories, and it's just really cool because it's really up to my game, and it really helps. Like, you post something and they're like, oh, I never thought about that before, or then
Right.
like someone will make an 8-minute video about one card and you're like, oh my god, I never knew about like like my friend posted like the negative side of aces. I'm like, I never thought about the negative side. Like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, in a nutshell, it's like, it's like the Ace of Cups, for example. It's like, oh, are you ready for this like burst of new emotion? Are you ready to like nurture this new emotion, or like take care of it, or see it through? Because like the Ace is just the beginning, and so like there's going to be more and more and more like aftercare and stuff. I'm like, dang, I never even thought about that, and that's so that really made it better for me, because like Ace has been coming up in my readings lately, and now I can give myself or my friend or whoever like that perspective as well. And so it's just like a snowball, and it's just amazing. Like I don't even know what to compare it to, because like I've never been part of a community that's just been so beneficial, and like there's never someone who's like, that's not what that means, you did it wrong. Like, no, I've never seen that or heard that from anyone. Like,
I haven't experienced anything like that either. Everybody that I've talked to has been welcoming and inviting and warm and, you know, excited. Like, we're all excited for each other, you know?
Exactly.
And I think that because it is, everybody has their own take, everybody has their own, you know, way of looking at things. Like, you know, you're going to do a reading for somebody and it's going to be different than the reading that I give. You know, like you and I may interpret things a little bit differently, but both can be relevant to the same person. For the same issue. You know, so it's like, there's not even like competition really, because it's, you know, we're all just like giving our own little tidbits here and there, you know. It's like having a group of friends, you know, like you go to your different friends with your same issue. Somebody, you know, each one of them is going to give you a different part of advice that you can piece together for yourself, you know?
Yeah, that's so good. You're dropping bombs here. That's so cool. Yeah. Like this is something I ask everybody. Like, what do you think is like, so for me, like my like tarot superpower, like I'm really good with like relationships and like life path kind of stuff, like self-development kind of stuff. So like when someone comes to you for like a certain thing, you're like, okay, this is my shit. Like, I'm going to help the fuck out of you. You know what I mean?
I think like now tarot is not a substitute, but I think like mental health, you know, like people dealing with, you know, like I'm feeling lost or I'm having anxiety about this situation, like, you know, being able to help somebody move through, like, you know, what do you need for your soul? You know, like that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, oh, I want to help you with that. I'm, you know, my day job, I'm a hairstylist, and I've been a hairstylist for 14 years. And, you know, hairstylist, a lot of my job is therapy. You know, a lot of my job is, you know, listening to people tell me, you know, about their relationships, about their crummy jobs, about their, you know, like whatever is going on in their life. And so that's always been a thing that I've been able to offer to my clients who I know them, and I can say, you know, do you want advice? Because I have some, you know, and I throw it out at them. And so, you know, and that I think has helped me with tarot be able to, you know, to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's something that, you know, you have more perspective on than I do. And that's that flavor you give to your readings deep down. And hairstylist, that's an interesting profession, because just a side tangent about this real quick, but a lot of people think it's like kind of easy, but like it's like a lot of hard work, especially if you're doing like all the coloring and the foils and all the fancy stuff that women in particular get done to their hair. So and then you're on your feet all day and you get carpal tunnel and
all of the above. I mean, I think, and I've experienced that. It's a trade, you know, and there's a group of people who look down upon trade professions. But, you know, there's not a whole lot that keeps me from my job. You know what I mean? Like, economy wise, now COVID kept me from my job, but what are you gonna do? But I'm back now. But yeah, and it is, you know, it is hard work, especially when I have people come in who've tried to do things for themselves, and I go, yeah, it's
Oh
not that
no.
easy, is it? Now look what you've done, and now I have to fix it.
Exactly. So you're on the East Coast. What area are you about?
Oh, I'm Midwest.
Oh, you
I'm
are?
a Midwest girl. I'm in Indiana.
Okay, Indiana. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I just recently started going back to my hairstylist,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we just wear masks, and she has like a salon studio, so it's just like one room. It's just her
That's how
space.
I do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty good, and it's safe. You're both wearing
Yeah.
masks, and
It is what it is.
yep,
We're making
yeah.
it work.
Definitely. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're able to still do that, and you're
Yeah.
back out there getting it.
Yeah.
And
My husband joked when I, over this last year have like really gotten deeper into tarot, and he's like eventually, you put a sign up that says like while your color is processing, like I'll let me read your cards, like do both in the salon, and I'm like, well, that's not a bad idea.
No, you can double up on the time there.
Right.
Like, oh, we got about a half hour to 45 minutes.
Like,
so
let's do something, like what you working with.
I'll just throw like 20 extra bucks in your tab or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you got a funnel there, a built-in funnel.
Right.
Let's see. Do you do any readings for like your husband or anybody in your family?
I've never read for my husband. I guess if he asked, I would, but I don't know. Sometimes I think reading for people who are too close, it can muddy the reading because I assume I know what it's saying because I know them, but it might not be right,
Yeah. It's hard to be impartial too, because like if they want to reading by a certain thing, well, it's like, well, I kind of want this to happen low key, so I'm gonna sprinkle that in there.
Yeah, but like close friends, yeah, I've read for quite a few of my close friends.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun, especially when they come back like a couple days later, like, guess what happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it happened.
Or like, I have to tell you something. It's like, okay. Yeah, what's kind of funny is like, I'm like not out tarot wise to a lot of people. And so, I have a whole other Instagram, like another thing that I do in my life is I'm a romance novelist. And so I'm an author. And so like my other Instagram life is like running that business. And I'm thinking like, I'm going to have to out myself, and just like share this whole other side of me. But like, there's a lot of people in my life who don't even know that I'm doing this, that it's just something I've really kept to myself. And like I said, I started this Instagram as just like for me and something to put out there, and I was doing it during the time that I wasn't working is when I started it, during like the quote unquote lockdown. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how some people in my life take to it and what they might think. And, interesting how many other people will be like, that's fucking cool. And, like really come to me and be like, do mine, read for me,
So the romance novelist thing, do you have an Instagram for that too? Or just a personal? Okay, cool. Yeah. What's that one?
It's Kate Roth Writes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. How long have you been doing that?
My first novel was published in 2012, so 8 years since I've been published. I mean, I've been writing since I was a kid, but
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you like do Amazon direct print, or do you do like?
Yeah. When I first started, I had like a small publisher that I was with for my first two novels, and then I. Like in terms of romance, the romance genre, like at the time, like in 2013, 2014, it was good to be indie. It was that's where it was at. So I took a gamble and left my publisher to go independent, and I've never looked back. So.
That's cool. Yeah. writers are really empowered to kind of do their own thing. And
Yeah.
if you have a following, you'll have customers and
and you just have to have enough, to put back into it, to like, you're hiring your own editors and your own cover designers, and, you're hiring out all of the work that a publisher would do for you. But, like I run that business. I, run my salon business. I have my own studio in my salon. Like, clearly I'm a control freak and I like to own businesses. I just like to do my own thing and, be in charge of it also.
I think that's the way to go, especially nowadays. A lot of people don't understand. Like, it's not, you don't have to like get a degree and then work for someone anymore. You can really just live your life and make money just doing certain things.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. I didn't know that about you at all. And like, I know. I have so much respect for you because like,
and all of those people on that Instagram don't know about this until I share this podcast and go, hey guys, look at this I do.
Check it out. Yeah.
Right? I'll be dropping bombs over there.
For sure. Yeah, like you're really well spoken, and I'm sure your writing is just as good, if not better.
Oh, thank you.
I'm kind of jealous now because like I've always wanted to write, and I just have so much stuff going on. Like,
I saw you say today, like, not enough time, too many ideas. Like, that's the story of my life.
Yeah.
There's never enough hours in the day. There's not enough, and like, this is, I've thought to myself, like, I'm kind of crazy for like picking up another business or, side hustle, like, that it's like, I sometimes tell myself, like, you got to cool it. But at the same time, like, these things make me happy. Why not put them out there, and why not try to make it, something that's a part of my everyday life by making it a job.
Yeah. Yeah. The more like the more you're in action, just the better. Like when you're moving, when you're thinking, when you're putting stuff out into the world, that's way better than being a spectator,
right?
Like being on the sidelines, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, I'm so glad. I'd rather have the frustration of too much I want to do than just being a blob,
Right. Yeah. Not having any passion. I'd rather have too many passions than have nothing that I'm excited about.
Yeah. I'm in the process of writing like a tarot book. I have it on this screen in case like we run out of things to talk about, but we were just, it's just so awesome. But yeah, like I see all these guidebooks. I'm like, oh, I want to write a guidebook, man. And ultimately I want my own deck. I want to like hire an artist,
100%.
Make like a Viking tarot deck. And I think that'd be so cool. So like, this is like the start of it. And I just have, like how I do things, how I see things. And then I would go into like, like the actual guidebook. But I wanted it to be like half guidebook, half just everything I know and what I want people to know, and like my unique ideas. And so I just chip away at that, and I'm a big JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan, the manga. I got some manga up there, and I got here, I'm gonna actually show you this. This guy, the writer, Hirohiko Araki, he's got Manga Theory and Practice.
Okay.
This is like this. He's been writing manga for like 20 years, and like this is like his book on like his process and what he does, and like what makes a good protagonist, what makes a good antagonist, and like the protagonist and the antagonist need each other. Like there can't be one without the other.
Yeah.
And like all this, like I've read this book like 3 times. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, now I want to write a freaking manga too. Damn it.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, wanting to do your own deck. Like I bounce around these ideas in my head sometimes of like, and not necessarily a tarot deck, but an oracle deck, because I like oracle cards as well, and I like to use them, in tandem. But like an oracle deck that's like, romance novel tropes, like within it, or like, something like that. And then sometimes I'm like an oracle deck or a tarot deck that's like like cosmetology, like beauty themed, you know, in terms of like my hairstyling. I'm like, there's something there. Like it's not like all lit up in my head yet, but there's something in there that like is my thing, and I'll find it one day and make it happen.
Yeah. Do you keep a journal at all?
I don't. It's unfortunate. I'm really, really terrible at journaling. Oh, I know.
I've been at it for like 3 months now, like every single day. It's just been so good. So good.
I need to force myself. It's something that I did a lot as a kid. Mm-hmm. And then once I started writing fiction, I stopped journaling as much. And so like that became like my writing time, would be writing fiction. And I've always been bad. I have a tarot journal, you know, that I like So, I mean, I guess that counts. Like that's that good. I do for myself. Sorry, my phone started ringing. Okay. Now you went away. How do I fix that? There you are. Sorry. So, you know, when I read for myself, I write down the cards and then, you know, kind of my interpretation. And then obviously that includes like, I'm reading for myself. So I'm putting in personal details of, you know, like, I know that this relates to this and here's what, you know, and usually it will develop into a true journal entry, like a diary type entry. I guess.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. I don't do it every day like I should. But yeah, I need to get better at it. I found a journal the other day that was like a prompted journal, which I think maybe would be a little bit better for me. Like, you know, things you're grateful for, you know, like every morning, every night. Like, so I don't know. I don't know why I'm so bad at that.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously have a lot going on and you stay busy.
And I have like a little, like a ADHD thing where it's like, you know, there's too many things going on and that just gets pushed aside, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do everything like we said, but I think we're alike. We're both pushing a lot into the world. We're both, like Sunday we were supposed to record this and like, just, I can't even tell you like what happened Sunday. It's just like a blur and it's just like, well,
yeah. And I mean, we both have young kids and it's like, that's like a whole next level thing. It's like, okay, I've got, you know, my day job, my side job, then this like side passion that I'm, you know, trying to devote time to, you know, and mix in there a 3-year-old and, you know, an insane dog and, you know, still should probably clean the house and maybe make dinner occasionally, like those types of things. And it's like there's never enough time, you know, and it's frustrating and it can get you down, but you know, wouldn't have it any other way, right? Because like I need to do these things.
Yeah, the good thing is we can always wake up tomorrow and just keep going. And like there's always there's not enough time in the day, but there's always the next day too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to keep that perspective, like especially lately for me because things have been going really well and I'm like, oh man, if I could just like quit my day job, like I would just be killing it, but like I can't because like that's the goal though. I want to spin this up and like I make music too with my friend. Like we have an album on iTunes and we're about to put a second one on iTunes.
That's awesome.
Like, you know, that's not a source of money, but like what's that?
What kind of music?
We're making alternative rock right now.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
You send me your.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. This is it's actually our third album, but the first album was like kind of like practice for us because like we've known each other a while, and then I had this idea for an album, and I had like most of the songs already like written in my head. So like we teamed up and we got it out, and then like the second album, the first one that's actually on iTunes, we were able to sit down like as a team and like make an album, like a concept, and like really build on that. And then we're doing that again. So when you like, we listen to like our newest stuff that we're like making like today, like right now, compared to like the first album, it's like, whoa, man, like we didn't know anything about like mixing or mastering and everything. And he's like so good at it. Like, I'll send songs to my family and they're like, was this on the radio? It's like, no, it's just, awesome. I just made it in this room, you know, just in my basement. Yeah. But yeah, that's another thing I got going on.
Right.
And yeah, I
You
played
can't
it.
stop a creative brain. Like
You can't.
you can't stop a creative brain. There's always something else, and I always, am like Jackie of all trades, like, oh, you need me to do this? I'll do that. Like, yeah, I can, bake your kid's birthday cake. Like, like, what do you want me to do? I'll do it. I'll make some soaps. I'll make crafts, like do anything.
I know.
Like, I just like doing stuff. I went to art school before I went to cosmetology school and was into photography. And so occasionally like that jumps back into my head and I'm like, I should do like a photography, I should do like a whole, have my own show, like my own gallery show. Like, what am I doing? Like, I don't need, I don't even pictures that much anymore, but it's like, I just get, when inspiration strikes, you run with it. Like,
it truly is a blessing and a curse. Yeah, I know. I want to do art. I wanted to learn like figure drawing. So like I bought a book and I was like doing like the 5-minute poses, like YouTube videos and like sketch. But then after like a month, I was like, oh, there's so much other stuff I can do first. And then, but yeah, like.
Yeah, during lockdown, I was like switching between tarot and like needlepoint.
Oh, wow.
I'm like bought all this embroidery floss and I'm like, I'm going to make all of these cute little, like, I don't even know what I'm doing with myself.
For real. I mean, but that's the cool thing though. Cause like you try these random things and it'll come back to like one of your main things, and, you can have more, like you can have little friends that do this, you can have little friends that do that, and you can kind of like mix and match and mingle them. And you just be influenced by everything, learn from everything. And it's never a wasted time or wasted experience.
And tarot is so great because, there are a lot of things that I like to do that take time and take, a certain setting and, like, oh, well, I can't write if I'm at work because I forgot my laptop and, so I can't work a chapter of, that novel that I'm working on because I don't have what I need, or, I want to make crafty things, make soaps or whatever. And it's like, well, then I have to like clean it all up. And that like tarot's so great. Like I have my tiny little tarot deck in my purse. Like I was literally like at the doctor's office the other day, just like sitting there waiting, shuffling my cards and like pulling cards and like, okay, and like, it's as easy as scrolling your phone, right? Like it's, you're just tapping into yourself and, it's some meditation. It's, some people carry around a book and read a chapter while they're waiting to get their oil changed. And it's like, you can do that with tarot. And that's what I really love about it. But you can have like a super powerful moment while you're doing that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah. All you need is your cards.
Doing cards while I'm in the salon. I close my door if I don't have people, and I'll just do a quick little.
Yeah, I have a deck in my work backpack, and I'm just like, get a little break, see what's up, or like someone DMs me and they're like, like I don't want to leave them hanging, so I'm like, I can bust it out here real quick, sneak a photo there, and yeah.
I mean, and I think that it's like for me that's like another good way to like connect with your deck. Like I don't know if you're into that, like really like. Like feeling like you're connected, of like, spending time with your cards, I think makes a difference, so carrying one around with you, or, even if you're not reading, but, you're sitting and having a conversation with, your spouse or in your house or whatever, and just sitting there and kind of, shuffling and, feeling the cards and being with them, I think makes a difference.
I 1,000% agree. Yeah, like the main deck I use is the Marigold. That's like the black and gold one with like the skeletons. Like that I just always have that on me. Like I'm just always touching that, and every day I'm messing with it. And like if anyone needs something, like that's like my go-to for sure. Like that's like my jam. So I think we should do another episode in the future for sure.
Yeah,
because like I'm running out of time here, but like we can definitely talk way more. Like this is like, you have been such a great guest, and You have said so many great things. There's gonna be so many good clips, like 3 to 5 minute clips I can make out of this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be so good. And then as you continue on your journey, I'm continuing on my journey, and we'll just have more and more to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you want to talk writing and music and other
I definitely do.
endeavors, like
Definitely do.
for sure.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna send you my music, and I'm gonna check out your
Oh, you're gonna read my pretty romance novels?
Yeah, I mean, I do read, and I just finished up another Chuck Palahniuk novel. That's like one of my favorite authors.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for some more.
I have
fiction.
I haven't started it yet. The Invisible Monsters, the remix. Did you see it?
Okay, that's the only book I haven't read yet.
You haven't read Invisible Monsters at all?
No. That's like the only one I'm missing for sure.
Oh my God. Please go read that book right now.
I will. Yeah.
You put out like a second one where like, I guess initially it was supposed to be in a different order. Like the book wasn't supposed to be written it's like the original book is linear, but he wanted it to be nonlinear. And so he released it the way he wanted it. So I need to read that.
Nice. Yeah, we can talk for hours. So
that's great.
Yeah. So again,
that's the reason that like you were the person I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to this guy.
I know it's just funny how that works, and that's all that's all the power of Instagram and just putting yourself out there and the tarot community. Like if anyone's like thinking about learning tarot, like just do it. Like because there's just so many friends to make and so many connections to make and so much to learn about yourself and others and just life and
absolutely.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
It is. So. Yeah, it's really powerful. And like we said at the top of this, like once you're in it, you're in it. Like it's addicting.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those things that like it's like yoga or like things that people get into like really hard as like I need this for my day. That's I notice when I don't do tarot on a day.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Like, it's just weird when you're like not doing it. It's like, it's just one of those things. And even if it's just like 5 minutes real quick, like, it's just something
two cards, like just something to get you, that like either the resolution of the day or the energy at the top of your day or whatever. Like, just having that little bit every day, it matters.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for being on, and then we'll definitely get on the schedule for another one. Cool. So again, this is Kate from Pink Moon Siren Tarot. Definitely check her out.